Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. We really appreciate you coming on in and listening to yet another wonderful Giant Nutrition talk. I'm Charisse. I am located at the Central Branch, the Howard County Library System. We do have closed captions enabled. They are automatically generated, so you might see some errors. We are recording this class. We will be taking questions at the end of the class, so please put your questions in the Q&A box. If there are any technical issues, please use the chat. I've also placed a survey in the chat because we love to hear from you, how you feel about the class, what you would like to see in future classes. I've also posted links to a couple of our upcoming classes. We do have our next Giant Nutrition class, should it stay or should it go, avoiding food waste by extending the life of your foods, and that will be May 5th at noon. So with no further ado, let me introduce our wonderful speaker today. Her name is Melanie Burdick. She is a nutritionist for Giant Food based in Ellicott City. She's a registered dietitian, a licensed dietitian nutritionist, a certified diabetes care and education specialist, a certified specialist in obesity and weight management, and a certified personal trainer. She has a Bachelor of Science in Dietetics from Eastern Michigan University and a Master's of Science in Applied Nutrition from the University of New England. Melanie believes in practical steps to improving health and wellness where no foods are off limits. That's what I love to hear.
Yes, every time. I think that's always nice to hear that, dietitians, we are not the food police. So thank you so much, Charisse. I appreciate everyone coming out. It is a very warm day. I was very surprised, but I guess spring, summer is here. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking time out of your day to join the webinar. So today we're going to talk about aging gracefully. Now, age is just a number, right? So we're going to talk about things that we can do, things that we can eat, and some lifestyle choices that we can follow that can really make a difference in our aging. All right. Let's see here. All right. So first on the menu for today, we'll just talk about the role of nutrition in aging and how we can think about some things that we can put into our cart and some considerations really to be healthy at any age. And there's some special things that we want to think about, as we get a little bit older. I think just get a little bit better, right? And so I'll have 7 tips for health that you can follow today that really can help with your overall health at any age. And then we'll actually focus on some options along with some of those tips that you can put into your cart too. Things that you can look for the next time you're shopping. All right. So first off, when we think about our general diet, one thing that's really helpful, really at any age, is to really be aware of the food choices that we're making. And I'm sure many of us, we've heard about different methods for staying healthy, managing your blood pressure, cholesterol, glucose, you name it. But there's actually a diet recommendation for our brain. And what's interesting is that we may not think about our brain very much. It does a lot of work, but I myself take it for granted occasionally. So when we think about aging, we really want to think about keeping our brain healthy, because we know as we age, there can be higher risk of developing things like dementia or Alzheimer's, or maybe just starting to forget things a little bit. Remember, our brain's been working for many, many years. So there's actually a diet recommendation for your brain, and it's called the MIND diet. So for our first tip is to really mind your diet. And so the MIND diet actually stands for Mediterranean Interventions for Neurodegenerative Delay. So the MIND diet is actually a combination of 2 very well-known diets that you probably have heard multiple times. The first is the Mediterranean type diet. So think about wonderful nuts and seeds and beans and legumes and really natural sources of food that are minimally processed. And we know that following a Mediterranean diet with those wonderful heart-healthy fats is going to protect our heart, which is very, very important. But there's actually an additional component in our diet that can help not only our heart, but our brain. And so adding in these healthful items like healthy fats, lean protein, and plenty of vegetables. But we know that actually there are some components of our diet that can really help minimize formations. They're called beta amyloid plaques in our brain. And so we know that the combination of the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet can really make a difference for people as they age. So we have that Mediterranean diet. Again, that's heart healthy fats, nuts, and seeds. And then the DASH diet, you probably have heard of. If you're managing your blood pressure, the DASH diet is dietary approaches to stop hypertension. So a very similar diet format as the Mediterranean. Fruits and vegetables, minimally processed foods, low sodium for your blood pressure. And so, really, if we can follow this type of eating pattern, really our whole life, this is going to make a difference in our overall heart health, our blood pressure, and now we know our brain as well. And so, when we think about this type of diet, we also want to think about that wonderful produce. And we know that fruits and vegetables are wonderful sources of antioxidants, phytonutrients, vitamins, and minerals, and they're fabulous. But with the Mind diet, there's an extra focus on berries and leafy greens. There's a lot of studies in this area looking at how they can minimize those buildup of the plaque in our brain that can cause Alzheimer's. So when we're thinking about a diet, think about finding things that are minimally processed, lower in sodium, lower sources of fatty meats, so opting for those lean proteins, and really just trying to fill your plate with produce. All right. And definitely at any time, if anyone has any questions, you can feel free. You can throw in a question into the chat or the Q&A box, or we'll also answer some questions at the end too. Now, another area that we want to think about with our diet, we want to focus on fiber because as we age, our gut function can change a little bit. And many medications that we take often have a side effect of constipation. So, when we're thinking about our gut health, and again, this is important not just for aging, but for all of us, we need to opt for more fiber. So when you're thinking about a diet, so we just mentioned the Mind diet and the DASH diet, really filling up your plate with minimally processed foods, we want to also focus on those fiber sources as well. So you can find wonderful fiber in things like whole grains, beans, legumes, any cracker, cereal, or bread product that's made with whole grains are going to provide that fiber and protein because they're not processed during manufacturing the way that refined grains are. And whole grains and beans and legumes are just packed full of wonderful nutrients. And so when we think about aiming for dietary fiber daily, we should try to get at least 21 grams of fiber. Now, think about your diet for a second. How much fiber do you think you get? Do you think you get the goal of 21 grams? Do you think you get more? Or do you think you get less? Sometimes it can take a second to think about and see, how am I doing? Now, the average American, we're not getting there. We are getting about 15 grams of fiber or less per day. So as a whole, our whole population really needs to strive for more fiber. But definitely trying to meet that fiber goal can make a huge difference in multiple areas of your health. So first off, combating that constipation that can occur with different medications. Also, if you're managing your diabetes or your heart health, that extra fiber in your system and in your foods are going to slow down digestion, and that's going to help keep that blood sugar control nice and balanced. Also, high fiber is beneficial for your heart health. So, that extra fiber in your diet pulls some additional fat from your bloodstream, can help keep those LDL cholesterol levels in check. And then also, too, our gut health. Again, sometimes our food choices can really impact how our gut feels. And so getting plenty of fiber really can help keep things moving and makes everything just a little bit easier in your life. So definitely thinking about your GI health. And then lastly, to satiety. One of the great things about boosting your fiber in your diet is that because it takes longer to digest, you stay full. So it's a great way if you're trying to manage your weight, or if you're trying to manage your heart health or your glucose control. All of these different benefits can come when you focus on fiber. Now, many people ask about fiber supplements as well. You can take these, such as Citrusel or Metamucil. They contain soluble fiber. Soluble fiber actually pulls fluid in your gut. So it can be another great option to add in if you feel like you're not meeting the goal for your fiber. But ideally, trying to get as much as we can through our diet. Now, I will give a word of warning. If you're thinking about increasing that dietary fiber, maybe you're thinking, all right, well, maybe I'm not meeting the mark for my daily fiber. Most importantly, we want to slowly increase that fiber. Slow and steady wins the race. If we increase our fiber too quickly, it can really cause some GI upset, maybe some bloating, some gas. So little by little, you can add in that dietary fiber. And then also too, when you're doing that, we want to make sure that we're getting plenty of fluid. And we're going to talk more about that in just a few slides. And so I have on the next slide some really great options that you can look for if you're saying, okay, well, maybe I'm not missing the fiber mark. There are some wonderful options in the store. You might actually have them in your pantry right now. Or if you're planning to go grocery shopping in the next few days, you can look for these items. So things that are great sources of fiber. Again, anything that's made with that whole grain. So things like whole grain pasta. So maybe you're planning to have pasta for dinner tonight. Doing a swap from enriched pasta to whole grain pasta can easily help you boost your fiber and protein intake. Now, we have other things. If you're an oatmeal fan, I am definitely an oatmeal fan. You can make it any way you like, but it's a great way to boost your morning fiber, anywhere from 4 to 6 grams per serving. And then also too, think about all those items that you have in your pantry. Maybe you're making soup, or maybe you're making a salad. Utilizing things like barley or lentils are inexpensive, but they're wonderful fiber sources as well too. Multi-purpose, and extremely versatile. Also, another great way to add more fiber into your day, and this is one of my favorites, and it's super easy. Open up a can of beans. The cannellini beans that we have here are my go-to. So if I'm making a salad or making soup or roasting vegetables, I'm going to crack open a can, and that's going to be an easy way to boost my fiber. Now, lastly, think about additions that you can make to your foods. Really, we were trying to be as realistic as possible when it comes to food choices. So think about things that you could just add into your morning routine. So maybe you love to have Cheerios for breakfast. A great way to boost the fiber in that meal, sprinkle on some chia seeds. They are chock full of fiber. A quarter cup has about 14 grams. So it's a great addition to your meals. You can put it on yogurt, or you can put it into your baked goods as well. Now, I did want to point out something. You may have noticed these little characters, the logo with the stars, and I just wanted to point those out real briefly. And if you're shopping at Giant, we have a program. It's called Guiding Stars, and really, what it is a nutritional rating program, and it makes finding healthier options for you much easier. So it basically reads the nutrition labels for you. So as you're shopping, you can look for products that have guiding stars. 1, 2, or 3 stars on a product represents that it has more fiber, more protein, less sodium, less added ingredients, and heart healthy fats. And so you can look for this. If you're looking at the price, you'll see this logo right below the shelf, or right below the price on the shelf tag, or you'll see it printed on Giant branded products as well. Extremely easy to find, and definitely another way to help find some of those more nutritious items in the store. All right. So another area that we want to think about when it comes to our diet, really, when we think about our diet as a whole, we want to make sure that we're getting a variety of different nutrients. So really having your items from each food group. So that'd be proteins, fruits and vegetables, grains, and then also dairy items. And one thing that's important as we age, we need to find a new word for age, but as we are getting more wise, we start to lose bone density when that number starts ticking up. So that can start at an early age, sometimes 50, if not earlier, for some women. And so we want to think about our bone health. And this is really important. So if we're getting a wide variety of different foods in our diet, that's going to help us meet our calcium and our vitamin D needs. And so really calcium is important because it's going to help keep those bones strong. And then vitamin D helps your body utilize that calcium in your diet for that bone health. So it's really important that we have this combination of calcium and vitamin D. And so there are lots of wonderful options available in the store. And then also too, if you have concerns in this area, you can always talk with your doctor about whether you need to take any additional supplementation to meet your needs. Now, one thing that's really great in this area, you can see here on the right-hand side, we have the updated nutrition facts label. Now, this has been updated for some time. Actually, January of 2020 is when this was mandated to be on products. But one great change that can really help people meet their vitamin and mineral needs is right at the bottom. So you'll see here at the bottom of the nutrition facts label, you have all of your different vitamins and minerals. So calcium, vitamin D, iron, and potassium. So if you're trying to meet your goal for calcium, and generally it's anywhere from about 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams a day, depending on your age and your needs, you can take a look at the nutrition label and say, all right, how much is in this product? So here we have on the example, the product that's listed has 260 milligrams of calcium. Now, on the label, the goal that's used as a reference is 1,000 milligrams. So you can see how much you're getting throughout the day. So it's going to provide you with about 20% of your daily calcium needs, or about 260 milligrams. So a really helpful tool. And the same thing with vitamin D. Now, there are lots of food options in our diet that can really help us meet those bone nutrient needs. There's a lot of options for calcium. There are some for vitamin D, but they're a little bit less. But I'll highlight a few on the next slide. All right. So there is a slew of different options available. Now, when we think about calcium, we usually think, as a body good for strong bones, have that glass of milk. So our dairy products are going to be wonderful sources of calcium. Now, we also have products now because manufacturers are really trying to meet the needs of consumers. We're also getting products that are enriched with added calcium and vitamin D. So where can you find calcium in the store? Well, you might have these right in your kitchen right now. So things like lactaid milk that has additional calcium added, or soy milk. And these can be two options too, because sometimes as we age, we can have a little bit harder time digesting lactose. So people say, I did okay a few years ago, but drinking milk is a little bit harder now. So these are other options too that you can look for. One, to meet your calcium and vitamin D needs, but a little bit easier on your gut too. Now, there's other things. Calcium doesn't have to come from just dairy products. You can find it in things like beans or spinach. So if you're making a salad, that's a great way to add in some plant-based calcium. Also things like tofu, which is made from soybeans, another great option for protein and calcium. Now, other things too, salmon. Fatty fish, another good source of calcium, and also a great source of vitamin D. So if you make salmon cakes or tuna cakes for dinner, that's a great way to maximize those nutrients. Now, if you're an orange juice drinker, they also will find items that are fortified with calcium and vitamin D in some of your favorite juice products. So again, just another way, and you eat a variety of different foods, it can help you meet your needs. Now, sources of vitamin D in the diet, aside from the sunshine, so when we're out in the sun, that helps our body make that vitamin D. We can also get some sources of vitamin D from egg yolks. So if you had your eggs this morning, you were able to get a wonderful source of vitamin D, and then also for mushrooms as well. So another great option. And so for vitamin D, we need anywhere from about 6 to 100 international units a day. So definitely talk with your doctor about what you need, if you're able to meet your nutrients through your diet, or if you need additional supplementation as well. When we have our yearly lab data done, typically that vitamin D level is checked. So you can check with your doctor on what you would need. All right. Now, one other area too that I wanted to highlight that's actually our nutritionist pick of the month is Pillar's drinkable yogurt. So not only is this a great protein option and a wonderful source of probiotics for your gut health, it's also a good source of calcium as well. And I actually have here, I have it right in front of me. And looking at the label, this has 260 milligrams of calcium per serving. So another great way, it's easy, you can easily take it on the go, and it's a wonderful way to meet your protein needs and get some of those good healthy bacteria for your gut. So another option that you can look for while you're shopping in the yogurt section. All right, so tip number 4. One of the things that can happen as we start to grow wiser, we can start to have change in our taste. And really our taste buds really become less sensitive and they stop replenishing as much as they do when we're younger. And so that can change our taste for salty or sweet. So I know we want to add flavor to our foods, and often we turn to that salt shaker as that number one choice. And really, we want to be careful with this because as we age, our blood pressure naturally starts to rise. So when we add a lot of salt to our diet, what happens? Salt pulls fluid. And so that causes that fluid running through your arteries. It's a lot of pressure because there's more fluid going through there. And so on top of naturally increasing, our diet can really impact our blood pressure. And many of us might be taking medication for blood pressure right now. About 1 in 3 Americans are dealing with hypertension. So what can we do for flavor, for pizzazz, and maybe change out the salt a little bit? Well, what we can do, we can focus on herbs and spices and different blends that aren't made with any salt. And it's a great way, one, to have some new flavor with meals. But the one great thing that many people may not realize about spices and herbs, they're a wonderful source of antioxidants. So we generally think of antioxidants coming from fruits and vegetables, right? All those different colors and pigments provide us with those phytonutrients that can promote health. But we're also going to get those from herbs and spices. So adding some cinnamon to your day, or spicing up some veggies with some cayenne pepper, or another medley of, say, cumin or turmeric or Italian blend can really help give you that boost of antioxidants with that flavor and really help minimize that sodium intake. Now, you might be saying, well, how much sodium do I need per day? So the general guidelines for Americans, it's about 2,300 milligrams. So to give you a visual, that's about a teaspoon of salt. Now, over the age of 50, the American Heart Association really encourages the individuals to lower their sodium intake to 1,500 milligrams a day. So it's a smaller budget, and many people realize how quickly it can add up. So if you're in the habit of using that salt shaker, really try to see if you can start to decrease that and add in some different spices. Now, some people do ask about salt substitutes. You get that salt flavor, it's a little bit less, but many of the salt substitutes are actually made with potassium chloride. And that's one thing we do want to be mindful of. Potassium chloride will actually increase the amount of potassium that we're getting in our diet. And so if you have any sensitivities in areas, maybe you're being followed by a kidney doctor or a heart specialist, too much potassium can be hard on some of our organs. So ideally, we want to move away from salt and those salt substitutes and really try to focus on those herbs and spices. Now, there are lots of great options in the store that you can try. And I always say, well, we're in the land of McCormick, right? McCormick is based right up in Timonium, Cockeysville, so it's not too far away in Maryland. And this is a great resource for spices. And so you can definitely visit McCormick's website. And actually last year on our giant YouTube page, we had the great pleasure of having the head chef from McCormick talk all about spices in our cooking. So I highly recommend that if you're curious about spices. It was a great way to feel more comfortable when using them in the kitchen. But maybe if you're going shopping today, there are a lot of great things that you can look for that are minimal prep. So there's one thing that's available now. We have from the Gourmet Garden Company, stir and paste. So instead of chopping and prepping, you just add a little bit of this maybe to your whatever you're sauteing, or if you're roasting something or adding it to a marinade. This is a great way to get that flavor without all that salt. Other things that are available, we have the different dried version of our different herbs and spices from Gourmet Garden. So adding ginger or turmeric or basil, this would all be great ways to get that flavor without all that salt. Now, we all know Mrs. Dash. Mrs. Dash has been around for a while, and there are a lot of wonderful medleys available that are in a salt-free variety. So if you happen to be in the spice section, a Giant, take a look. There are many different options. This garlic and herb blend is just one of many where you get a combination of flavors without that salt. Now, we do have another variety as well that's available from McCormick. Just has a little touch of salt, just a little bit. So that can be another option if you're interested in something. Now, also, if you're doing any kind of grilling or any other meals or meats this summer, you can also use a different rub as well here. So we have another variety from Nature's Promise that's orange that you can add to your different meats as a nice flavor before you throw onto the grill too. So a lot of wonderful things that you can utilize to get the flavor without all that sodium. All right, so pressing on. Staying hydrated. All right. So today is a perfect example. It is getting warm out. I think it's going to be over 80 degrees today, which I'm not really ready for because it was cold last week. But one important thing that we really want to focus on, and this again is important for everyone throughout the lifespan, is staying hydrated. Now, what can happen? Our change in taste starts to change, or thirst starts to change with age. So we might not have that desire or feel we have that need to drink because we don't feel thirsty. But actually, when we start to feel thirsty, dehydration is already set in. And so when we think about our body is more than 60% water. And so that's important for energy, for our brain, for lubricating our joints, and really working at your prime. It also is going to help cool your body in these warmer months. So we really want to make sure that we're drinking plenty of fluid. And so the general recommendation is at least 9 8-ounce glasses for women and 11 8-ounce glasses for men. Now you may say, whoa, that's a lot. It's okay. Start where you're at. Slowly try to increase your fluid consumption if you think you're not meeting your water intake for the day. And we want to make sure that we're refueling with water. Now, there are a lot of different beverage options out there. Ideally, we want to focus on the ones that are lower in calories, because those extra calories from beverages can add up very quickly, and that can impact our weight status, but it also can impact our glucose function, our dental health, and it can also impact our triglyceride levels. So if you have any sweetened beverages, maybe hot tea or sweetened tea, we want to make sure we have these occasionally. All right. So what's also interesting about liquid calories is say if you have a beverage, either soda or a sweetened tea, say we have it as a snack and it's 300 calories, our brain doesn't register those liquid calories like food calories. So it doesn't really impact our satiety or our level of fullness. So all that extra intake from fluids, 100 calories here, 100 calories there, can really make a huge impact on our waistline and our overall health. So we really do want to be mindful of those sweetened beverages and try to keep them to a minimum if there's something that we like to have. Now, there's lots of great options in the store that are low or 0 calories. So if you're saying, all right, well, maybe I need to start working on my fluid intake, but I'm not crazy about water, there's a lot of different things that you can look for. If you're one easy way is take a glass of water and add some sliced fruit to it. So some berries or strawberries or even mint, and make some infused water. It's very refreshing. Now, if you're looking for other options in the store, there are great things you can look for. At the bottom left, we have our Tazo tea, the passion flavor, which is very good. And you can make a hot tea or iced tea version of this. And tea is a great option to get some flavor without all those calories. Now, you do want to be mindful if you do like to drink tea, the caffeine levels can vary, so you just want to be mindful of that. But think about, you could pick up some tea bags or even the refrigerated unsweetened tea or other things for a hint of flavor, hint water, and there's a variety of other brands available that just have a hint of lemon or orange. You name it, there's a flavor out there, and it just gives you that little flavor, but it's an easier way to get that fluid in. And then other things that you might see in the store, a big trending beverage these days is kombucha. And kombucha is actually fermented tea, and it's a wonderful source of probiotics for your gut health. So you might see these we have a huge section of different variations of kombucha. So this can be a fun beverage to try if you're looking for something different. I do want to say that it can vary in the amount of sugar and calories. So you do want to check the label and find something that works for you. Now, other things that have really taken off in the last year are seltzer waters and sparkling waters. And so if you've gotten on this craze, let me know, because I'm a big seltzer fan myself. One of my favorites is the Giant brand seltzer water. Grapefruit is my go-to flavor. But this is another big trending area. AHA, LaCroix, there's a lot of different options available, especially for people that like that carbonation, but are trying to move away from the calories. So it's just some great ways that you can stay hydrated this summer and actually throughout the year. So definitely think about your fluid intake and see if this is something that you could work on in the next coming weeks. All right, we got another grapefruit seltzer fan. All right, I love it. Just bought mine last night. All right, now another tip we want to think about when it comes to our health. We talked a lot of different things about food choices, but sleep is also really, really important. It truly does a body good. And we know that lack of sleep is connected to different types of chronic disease, diabetes, depression, anxiety. And lack of sleep can actually impact our appetite as well. So you might notice this in yourself. If you get some poor night's sleep, you might feel a little more hungry. And that's because when we have proper sleep, that allows for our appetite hormones to reset. So with adequate sleep, we're going to feel more content and not as hungry or have the munchies. And that can make a difference in, think of all those different health indicators: cholesterol, blood pressure, weight, glucose. So getting plenty of sleep can really make a difference. Now, the general recommendation is about 7 to 9 hours a night. And really, when you think about getting proper sleep, it can help you in so many different ways. Think about your concentration. It can help with your memory. And we also know now that getting adequate sleep can help minimize the formations of those beta amyloid plaques that I mentioned earlier that are associated with Alzheimer's disease. So plenty of sleep can make a huge difference. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, well, it's easier said than done, right, Melanie? So really, when we think about getting plenty of sleep, we want to think about our sleep hygiene. And this is becoming a big buzzword. So think about your nightly routine. Think about the temperature in your bedroom. Think about any other distractions, a TV, a cell phone. How about, if you had anything that was caffeinated earlier in the evening, and really trying to get into your routine, that can make a huge difference in getting into a pattern to promote sleep. Also, exercise can help as well, and we'll talk more about that shortly. So definitely think about your sleeping patterns. And also, what's interesting with age, our circadian rhythm starts to change a little bit. It actually starts to move forward. So people are more prone to waking up earlier in the morning too. So really, we want to think about that and sort of adjusting for some of those changes we might see. So it might mean going to bed just a little bit earlier to make up for that. Now, what's really interesting is that there are foods in our diet that can help promote sleep, which is fabulous. So there's several different neurotransmitters that we have in our brain that can really help us relax and feel good and promote sleep. And so one of them you might be familiar with is serotonin. And serotonin is that feel-good hormone, just makes you feel happy and bubbly. And melatonin is another neurotransmitter that can help promote sleep. So we might see changes in these levels with age, but there's a lot of different things that we can put on our plate or have as a snack throughout the day that can really help boost those serotonin levels and those melatonin levels. So things like tart cherry juice, this has been well researched. And so if you like to have a little bit of juice, maybe dilute it a little bit to lower those calories, that can help boost those levels of melatonin. Also, kiwi fruit can also promote sleep as well. And then other things like whole grains are a wonderful source of serotonin that can really help you feel good and relax and promote that sleep as well. Now, also, other things, tryptophan, you may be familiar with this come Thanksgiving, but tryptophan is actually one of the precursors to serotonin. And again, that's going to make you feel good. So, different sources of lean protein. Of course, we think turkey at Thanksgiving, but things like cottage cheese or yogurt or even a glass of milk in the evening can help boost that tryptophan intake and those melatonin levels. So very interesting. And then also too, if you're a tea drinker, think about getting into a routine every night of having a cup of tea to help wind down and build in a regular sleep pattern and routine. All right. And our last tip that's really important throughout the lifespan, we want to stay active. And really, this can be anything that works for you because we're all in different places when it comes to our activity ability. So, what we want to think about is trying to be as active as we can be. Now, the physical activity guidelines for Americans suggest at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity a week. So, moderate activity would be things like get your heart rate up just a little bit, but not over the top. You could still carry on a conversation. And when we think about activity, it can really be anything that you enjoy. It could be at the gym, it could be out working in your backyard. But really, what we want to focus on, we want to focus on getting cardiovascular exercise and different forms of resistance exercise. One, because cardiovascular exercise is going to strengthen our heart and our lungs and our ability to perform our activities of daily living. It's just going to be easier to do things throughout the day. But also resistance training is very important. And a few things that you can benefit from resistance training. One, muscle health. So as we age, we start to lose our muscle mass. We lose it early on, late 30s, mid 30s, and that can impact our metabolic rate. So many people might start to notice that they start to gain weight a little bit later in life because their muscle mass isn't what it used to be and it impacts our metabolic rate. Also, resistance training can help with your bone health as well. So any kind of impact exercise is going to strengthen those bones. So physical activity is very, very important. So you're going to get a combination of that bone and muscle health. And it's also great for your mental health as well. Getting some sunshine and fresh air can really make a difference with depression or anxiety. And it just gives you a boost of energy. So when you think about exercise, think about what works for you. And if 150 minutes a week or 30 minutes, 5 days a week, or about 20 minutes, 7 days a week seems like too much, that's okay. Start where you're at. Little by little. It can be 5 or 10 minutes either per day or throughout the day to meet that goal. And really anything that you enjoy, yoga, Pilates, light aerobics, you name it. And I know right now there's been a change with the different gyms, different availability has kind of changed our gym format. So I wanted to point out some things that are right at your fingertips to help with activity. So if you have a computer, a tablet, a smartphone, there are a lot of resources that you can utilize when it comes to increasing your activity. And so there are many, many different fitness apps available that can help get you started. So if this is something that you've tried in the past, let me know in the chat. I'd be curious to see if you used any of these or if you've tried a different one. So lots of great options that really can help motivate you as well. So Map My Fitness is one. If you love to walk, you can put in the route that you did in your neighborhood and see how active you were. Also, there's a wonderful one from Johnson & Johnson. that has 7-minute workouts, 7 minutes. And so they're based on a variety of different abilities. So beginner, intermediate, advanced, lots of different things that include equipment and no equipment. Now, another great one is Fit On. And actually, this is one that I use, and it's free. And it's another great way to get a variety of different exercises in. So yoga, deep breathing, meditation, really whatever you're interested in, it's right at your fingertips. And then also another one that you might be familiar with is Silver Sneakers. And this is all for people over the age of 50. So dedicated exercises to meet your needs too. So lots of wonderful resources that you can have just sitting in front of your computer. And so it makes it easy and it helps you get in that activity. Other ones that you can look for, Fitness Blender and Flip 50 are two other ones that have a variety of different workouts. And definitely we can do these in our living room. We can do them in our backyard. We can actually utilize these if we're traveling too. And just remember, every little bit of activity that you do is going to make a world of difference for your overall health. All right, perfect. All right. Well, before we get to any questions, I see we had a few that popped up in the chat. Just wanted to give you an overview of the services that we have available at Giant Food. And we are so lucky. We have a team of 10 nutritionists as part of the Healthy Living team. And so we provide free services. Free. I love it. So that includes free consultations by phone or virtually by Zoom. Any concerns you have, whether it's meal planning or concerns about heart health or diabetes, you name it, we can definitely help you. And then we also have a variety of free classes available on our website at giantfood.com. This month, our featured class is all about the sustainable diet, since last week was Earth Day on Thursday. So things that you can do in your diet and lifestyle to protect the planet. And if you're on Facebook, join us for our Healthy Living by Giant group. You can go online, search us, you get to know our whole team, and we provide inspiration and guidance and different ideas for products and recipes. Anything related to healthy living, we're going to provide it. So definitely check us out on our Facebook group. And then lastly, we have our Nutrition Made Easy podcast, has over 60 episodes. You can listen online at giantfood.com or on your favorite podcast app. Lots of different topics, sustainability, heart health, mindful eating, you name it. So just a wonderful array of different topics that promote healthy living. All right, well, I'm going to stop there. I see we've had some chatter in the chat, so I'm going to go back here. Looks like we got a good question from Tanisha. All right. All right, so let's see here. Oh, so the second diet that I mentioned, so it was the MIND diet. So that's the Mediterranean, and that's in combination with the dietary approaches to stopping hypertension. So the DASH diet. So that MIND diet is sort of that combination of the Mediterranean heart healthy fats and low sodium DASH diet with lots of fruits and vegetables too. And so these actually aren't related to your blood type. These are general recommendations for promoting heart health, lowering blood cholesterol, and lowering chronic disease risk. And so there was one last question regarding the Guiding Stars program and the food labels. So the Guiding Stars program is our nutritional rating program. And so products, they're assessed by their fiber, protein, sodium, different types of fat. And so products receive 1, 2, or 3 stars based on that information from the nutrition label. So items like oatmeal, for example, I pointed that one out earlier, has 3 stars because it's one ingredient, it's whole grain with no added ingredients. Fruits and vegetables also get 3 stars as well. So generally you'll see the differences with items that have maybe more refined grains, more fat, or maybe more added sugar might decrease their star value. That's a great question.
Those stars just on the little label that's on the shelf, where are they located exactly?
So as you're going down the aisle, you can look right at the price tag on the shelf. You'll see a shelf tag right below, and it'll have the different icons available. So it could indicate maybe something is gluten-free, but then you'll also see the 1, 2, or 3 star logo. So you can look for those, or if it's a Giant branded product, it'll be right on the package. Yeah, so look for the, yeah, go ahead.
talk a little bit more about nuts, comparing the various nuts, those that are high in calcium or D or help with sleep or serotonin,
Yeah. So your different nuts and seeds, and nuts are very, very popular. So your different nuts, so almonds, cashews, pistachios. What else am I missing here? Pumpkin seeds. So they're a wonderful source of those mono and polyunsaturated fats. And that's really what we want to have in our diet. We have more of those, it's less inflammation in the body. They can help with our cholesterol levels. And it's a great way to have that in our diet rather than those saturated fats that can impact our cholesterol levels. So if you love nuts, the biggest thing I encourage for people is they're a great source for serotonin. They're a great source of protein and those fats that can keep you full. Those calories add up really, really quickly. So if you like to have nuts, just be mindful about how much you're serving yourself. I know how yummy they are. And one little trick that I found is if you purchase them with no added salt or lower in sodium, one, that's going to help with your sodium levels, but it's also going to help make them a little less munchy, and it helps you eat just a few less too. So nuts are a great source to have into your diet. So sprinkle them on your cereal, throw in your trail mix or your yogurt. They're great.
And in terms of lactose,
Mhm.
different dairy products, I guess, have different levels of lactose. Could
Mhm.
you give us some comparisons in that regard?
Yeah, and so this is an area where some people struggle. So some people might do well with certain forms of lactose. It always varies. Some people struggle with milk, but other people might be able to do yogurt or charred cheese. There's also products that are available that are dairy based that are lactose free. Like for instance, Cabot cheese is lactose free. Several different yogurt varieties like Yoplait, they make a lactose free product. So sometimes it can vary on maybe what you're eating, your sensitivity. Maybe if you combine it with something, it's a little easier on the gut if it contains lactose. There's also a lot of plant-based options available, like the soy milk, or almond yogurt, or soy yogurt that are another option for people that maybe have trouble with lactose as well. So there are a lot of different options available product-wise to help you meet your needs. So sometimes it can vary per person. They might not be able to do ice cream, but cottage cheese they do just fine with.
Yeah, it looks like we don't have any more questions.
Okay. Oh, great.
But
We have another one that popped up. Caffeine. Oh, that's a good one. So actually, we should have about 400 milligrams or less per day. That's the general recommendation. So that's 4 to 5 cups of coffee, depending on the size of your coffee mug. It might be smaller or bigger, but that's the general recommendation. And really, caffeine will stay in our system for about 6 to 8 hours. It has a half-life of that time frame. So really, the general goal is try not to have anything caffeinated maybe after 2 o'clock. That way it can get out of your system before you go to bedtime. So everyone's a little bit different. We could be more sensitive, or maybe some people dealing with heart conditions, often their doctors will encourage them to have less caffeine because it's a stimulant, but you can still work it into your diet. So you can enjoy your cup of coffee. Great
sounds
question.
good. Good question. This was another wonderful class.
Oh, thank
Really,
you.
really
Thank
great.
you.
And again, everyone, in the chat, I have posted some links to our future classes. Take a look at our classes page, and we look forward to seeing you at our future classes. And have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. And I just put my email into the chat if anyone has any questions, or you can reach out to our general email at nutrition@giantfood. Awesome. Thank you
Awesome.
guys. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Have a great day.
You too.
Take care.